There was a time where I was so bored in my life that my passive activity that I would do in my free time, whenever I had the time to do it and nothing else, like whenever I would be sick of scrolling through YouTube or playing video games, would be eating junk food. And this was during the COVID 19 pandemic of early 2020. It was something that I was experiencing for the first time. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to being home at all day. Like, I just viewed it as a holiday. Back then, we didn't have online lessons that we had to attend to. The teachers would just send us some exercises that we had to do and send them to them later. But we could just be at our tablets and on YouTube, just scrolling entire days on end, and we had the complete freedom to do so. And so naturally, I just got bored over time because too much of everything, even if you're addicted to it, you'll grow sick of it. And so back then, I didn't get much gratification from my surroundings. I mean, I don't want to completely undermine my surroundings or myself. But back then, I wasn't as grateful as I am right now. So I didn't truly view the blessings that I do right now. And so my active source of activity when it comes to gaining pleasure was from junk food, but it wasn't really that bad after all. I I still have this good habit that I do to this day that I started doing since I was like 4 years old, which is jumping on my trampoline, which kept me fit for most of my life. So it wasn't really that bad when I had like a bag of chips or like a whole chocolate on a couple of days. Yeah, it was very bad on some days. Like I remember that after I would eat everything, after I would finish a complete huge bag of chips. No, it wasn't a huge bag. It was like 100 grams probably. But I could finish those like two times in a single day. And whenever they would, whenever my dad would bring chocolate to our house, though, that is like split into 5 pieces that you get to like take over time. Yeah, I would eat all of that in a single day. And after all of that was eaten, I would just move on to these like crackers that we always had laying at our house. They were called like Bebe Good Morning. I never, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it is like very famous cracker where I live. And so after all of that was eaten, and my dad wasn't able to buy us chips or anything because of course everything was sold out, everyone was at their house, and it got snatched like 2 weeks prior. I would just munch on those so fucking much. Like I remember that we had these like huge boxes at our house that had like uh, a packs of four in them. So like four of those crackers in like these like plastic wrappings, and there were like uh, I believe eight of those plastic wrappings. Yeah, in that plastic box. And I remember that I could eat like four in a single day. Of course, even back then, I realized how bad this was for my health in the long term. So I even limited myself to only to two per day. And that was my first taste of draining my willpower and preparing myself for greatness in the future. I was subconsciously training it even back then because I just realized that it was not normal to munch on those things all day. Not because I wouldn't had everything. Not because I it's not that just because I wouldn't have anything at the end of the day when everything would be eaten, but I just realized how unusual it was for me to take in so much sugar just in my passive time. But I've continued like this because, of course, the groceries kept coming in, all of the chocolates, all of the cookies, all of the donuts, all of the croissants, all of the chips came rolling in each and every single week like a train that keeps on coming back for its passengers, and I continued to eat and eat and eat. But of course, I never gained any weight because I kept my mental health in check. Even when I was like watching anime heavily, scrolling through YouTube, playing video games, and having a complete shit of a mental health, I still jumped on my trampoline and I still kept my mental health somehow in check. But it wasn't truly the best. But I tried at least. But all of that changed in summer of 2023. Only 3 years after I truly realized this, the skill of willpower, that I truly embraced it to the fullest. and started living to it to the maximum. And I do mean the absolute maximum, because I remember that in that summer, I started learning about like the sugar companies, all of the big corporations that and the shit that they put into our snacks, and oh boy was I disgusted. Not only not only did I cope with it by saying to myself subconsciously that, oh, don't worry, when you eat them, it's not going to be as bad. Like, don't worry, your dopamine levels and your leptin and insulin levels, they won't get fucked up, don't worry. And it works, by the way. All of that subconscious programming, it truly and utterly works. But first of all, I needed to get myself unhooked from the instant pleasure and have it as a delayed pleasure, if that makes sense. So I needed to have some kind of a goal that I would have to complete each and every single day. And then when that would be done, I would give myself the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, I would have that snack. But it wasn't in like huge amounts, of course. And of course, I would still jump on my trampoline. I would still do like 7,000 steps per day, which would keep my physique in check. Sometimes I would even double it or even triple it at the weekend. So I would do like 20,000 steps in a day, which is like 20 kilometers, the equivalent of you walking that. So that was incredible. So until this point, I hadn't gotten any weight. And yeah, on the first weeks of learning it, I ate barely anything. And even if I ate something that wasn't the healthiest, it wasn't it wasn't that common. It was just like once per time, but it looked like I had it solved. It looked like I had finally overcome it. It looked like I was finally liberated from those feelings and from those temptations, only to find myself 2 weeks later slipping slowly back into it more and more, but still keeping myself at a healthy baseline of a young man on self-evolution who was already successful. Yeah, and this is the point that I'm trying to make. You will never quit those bad habits that you started a long time ago. Because, yeah, sure, we can do dopamine detox. We can be as much fulfilled in our lives as possible. But what you have to remember is that we started watching YouTube since like, I don't know, like 1 years old probably, or even before that, even when we were just a couple of months old. We started playing video games before we were even in kindergarten. We started eating those bullshit snacks, like like the second that we were born. We started watching like all of these sexual jokes in movies before we even were in puberty. And you have to remember that the human's brain completely develops by the age of 25. So you need to remember that all these addictions are hardwired into your brain, meaning that, unfortunately, and I hate to say this word that destroys all hope, we will never overcome them fully. But keyword, fully. You have to remember that we are young men on self evolution. We are timeless readers that take every single loss as a win, meaning that we strive for a better life. We don't give up when challenge comes to face. We still head forward to those challenges like there's no tomorrow. We stand in the name of God and in the name of infinite fulfillment. We go to Him for advice, meaning that even if the temptations come, we do our best to not succumb to them. Yeah, sure. We cannot truly resist them in the future. We will still scroll on YouTube, like we'll have this period in like a couple of months or years down the line where we'll be back addicted to YouTube, but that's okay. We will one day we'll slip back into video games for like a week, but that's okay. We will one day slip back into fapping like a couple of times per day, but that's okay. We will one day slip back into like eating bullshit for like a month straight probably, but that's completely and utterly fine. Because by that point, we will be completely fulfilled. We will have our own families. We will have our own luxuries. But we will stay disciplined. Because even though they are hardwired inside of our brains, Even though they're completely written in our subconscious mind, like they're basically unremovable. We cannot destroy them and remove them from our lives fully. We can still live without them as much as possible. We can still resist them. We can still be disciplined and be men of God, just like we are. We are God. And He gives us the power through meditation and through adventuring to resist all of those negative temptations. So stay fulfilled, listen to God's words, live to His values, and He will take a good care of you. And so, don't think that just because you have this 2 week long period of not doing that habit after you learn how bad it is for you, and then after that you switch back to it and you do it on a regular basis, like if nothing happened. Don't worry about that. It's completely natural. You were just running on a dopamine spike that would never last forever in the first place, so you shouldn't feel bad. You are doing just right. So continue to discipline yourself to resist all of those negative urges, and over time, all of that discipline and willpower will come in clutch in a lot of situations. So continue to challenge yourself through discipline activities each and every single day. Make your bed in the morning. Go have at least 1 minute of cold exposure every single day. Exercise in the morning. Wake up at 5 a.m. You understand. Just don't keep yourself complacent when the rewards eventually come. Okay? If you want to join a community where we discuss our mental health and full of like minded men who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day to surpass you in the race of men, but at the same time, they will be like your true blood bonded brothers with whom you can talk about any kind of topic and any kind of life lesson that you wish, then you can join our Discord clan in the description. I know that if you're watching videos like these and willing to take action, that you have way more potential than you think you have. So please, harness it and join us on the path towards greatness. I know that you'll find your place in there, unlike with the 99% of people that don't benefit you whatsoever. But besides that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you want, join the email list in the description, and get yourself a free book about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you like the most, and which part of the video you will implement in your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bring you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life test, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Leaders Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life changing, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you